Hello, I'm Frost, and welcome to my September update of all that is going on in the world of sci-fi gaming. Welcome back, and as usual what we're going to do is we're going to cover the stuff since my last update. Now, first of all we had Gamescom, and Gamescom wasn't really big on terms of new announcements or anything for the sci-fi world, but we did get to see a few things. For example, Ratchet and Clank, we got 8 minutes of gameplay. This was really more than anything was to show off the SSD loading capabilities of the PS5. But all the same, it gave us a good view of the game, and it still looks amazing and very, very entertaining. Then what we had is existing games, but announcements with those games. So for example, Aspera was first announced at E3 in 2019, and it is a strategy game based on the planet Mars, like a lot of games are at the moment. It seems to be very much the hot topic. And the idea is that first of all you have to terraform the planet, then you have to build on this planet, and then survive on the planet as you get various sort of natural occurrences happening, such as sandstorms, etc. And all the way through this, you also get a story narrative that brings you some decision-making process along the way. So it looks good, and we now have an announcement that is coming 2020. So hopefully in the next 3 or 4 months, we will see Aspera. Moving on, we come on to Space Crew. Now, Space Crew is a continuation from Bomber Crew, which was apparently a very, very popular game. And this is been announced for the 15th of October. Now, it's a real-time strategy game, and it's actually made by a British company called Runner Duck, based down in Brighton. And the idea is you've got to defend Earth against an alien menace, and you do this by recruiting crew and designing ships and fighting off the aliens. And the reason why I mentioned it is British. It does appear to have some rather British humour in there, and I'm looking forward to this. Not the typical kind of game that I would go for, but this one does appeal to me. Then we have a game that causes me issues, and that is Outriders. Now, Outriders, the reason why it causes me an issue is because it's that kind of game that's a crossover between sci-fi and fantasy, similar to Warhammer. Now, the game is actually developed by a Polish development company called People Can Fly, but backed also by Square Enix. And the idea is you're basically on an alien planet that's being colonized, and you have 4 classes which have superpowers, hence the issue with fantasy, that are acquired because of the storm that happens on the planet. And then you have a whole bunch of aliens to fight, and it is a third-person shooter with some elements of RPG. It does have a start and an end. It's not a simple multiplayer game, although you can co-op play with up to 2 other players. So it looks interesting. We've been given a release date of December 2020. That might still slip. I think it has slipped already, so hopefully that will be in time for the holidays. Then moving on, out of Gamescom, we have on the 26th of August, Phoenix Point released their second DLC called Legacy of the Ancients. Now, as you can see from this tweet, it tells us all the stuff that's going to be in there, but I tried to drill down more and find out what these new enemies were, what these new maps were, what these new resources were, etc. And I went onto the website and on the press release, and I found exactly the same information. So I dug a little bit deeper and went into the forums for the dev notes, and once again, just the same thing. So new story missions, new mission types, enemies, maps, points of interest, resource, research, weapons and equipment, and updates and fixes. But apart from the updates and fixes, which are listed in the forum, all the rest I can't tell you anything about unless I actually download the DLC. And if you look at the trailer is purely cinematic, so it doesn't really give you an idea of what's involved in the DLC as well. So Phoenix Point, if you're going to release a DLC, please give us some info. We can promote it better then. All right, moving on. Dual Universe. Okay, so Dual Universe was in alpha for quite a while, and it was also subject to NDA, so nobody could release videos on it, nobody could stream it. But on the 27th of August, it went into beta, and now you can stream it and you can make videos on it. And I am on that beta, and I have been trying to play it for the last 3 or 4 days. And I'm going to reserve judgment and I'm going to release a video on this. What I would say is go to the Discord and have a good look at the Discord before throwing yourself into the beta, as at the moment, at the time I'm making this video, there are still long delays in being able to log in. There's some bugs that are really game breaking, and it is a hard slog, I will say that much. But I will release a video on it sometime in September once I've put a few more hours in, hopefully not on the log on screen, and I will then be able to report much more on Dual Universe for you. Right, now we're going to move on to new releases. So the first new release isn't actually a new release as in a new title, but it's a new DLC. And it's the Outer Worlds have a new DLC called Peril on Gorgon. Obviously this is the RPG from Obsidian Entertainment. This game is superb. It is literally the definition of RPG. And I thoroughly enjoyed this game when it came out. I think it was in late 2019. Really looking forward to this DLC. Yes, please, more Outer Worlds. And if you're a fan of the genre, I'm sure you will do exactly the same as me and be getting hold of this DLC. Then another game that's releasing on the 10th of September is a game called Astronaut. Let me try and pronounce this properly. Ostranauts. There we go, Ostranauts. And it comes out in early access on the 10th of September. And it is a top-down sim, and similar to Space Bomber, you have to do ship design and you have to manage your crew, but it has a very, very different feel to it, as you can see. Very much a real-time strategy game. Looks interesting, can't tell you much about it, except that it is coming, and I will try and get hold of this and have a little play on it when it comes out on the 10th of September. Then we're going to move straight on to announcements, and for me this was the big one. This is the big announcement with regards to sci-fi gaming in sort of the last week or two, and that is that X4 Foundations is bringing its second DLC, which is called Cradle of Humanity. At the same time as releasing this DLC, they will also have update 4.0. If you remember with Split Vendetta, we had update 3.0, and this is due Q4 2020, so once again before the end of the year. And this does have me very, very excited, I have to say. We're going to get new sectors, but these sectors are going to revolve around 2 Terran factions. So yes, we will have the solar system here. And as you expect with new factions, we have new structures, we have new ships, we have new weapons, we have new missions. And also apparently there is a return of a pirate faction from a previous X. So I don't know whether that's the Yaqui or the Dukes, but I guess we will find out closer to the day. Then also within the free update, we're going to get extra new features. Apparently there's something called terraforming, I'm not quite sure what that involves, and also volumetric fog to give it kind of a much more sort of what's the word I'm looking for now? I've had a complete mind blank. You get the idea. You know, it kind of makes it more atmospheric. That was the word I was looking for. I really struggled with that one. Right, and now we're going to go on to other news. And the big news, and this is why I held off for an extra day, was obviously NVIDIA had their big Geforce announcement today. It's shooting this video, 1st of September. And we got to find out about the Ampere cards. That's the 3000 series. Which is the 3070, the 3080 and the 3090. And the great news is that the price points are not the astronomical price points that everybody was expecting. So the 3070 is going to be at $500, the 3080 which is going to be at $700, and this 3080 is more powerful than a 2080 Ti. Not by much, but it is. Then obviously we've got the new ray tracing, the new DLSS, and I will recommend you watch the NVIDIA video to get a good idea of what's coming with that. And then the last card, which is just insane, is the 3090 with 24 gig of G6 memory in it, and is an absolute monster and can support 8K gaming. So yeah, I'm really curious to see how AMD are going to respond to this. I don't think they can, to be honest. I think this is a huge announcement from NVIDIA, and I think they've nailed it. But obviously we'll have to wait for AMD to see what they come out with. But I think they have their work cut out, because NVIDIA really knocked it out of the park with this one. And then just to close off, Night City Wire, which is the episodes being brought out by CD Projekt Red to keep us occupied for Cyberpunk 2077 until its release on November 19th. And we found out from this tweet that is coming from the Tokyo Games Show, and the Tokyo Games Show starts on the 26th. So expect it to be either on the 26th, 27th, or around one of those days. So there you go. So we'll get some more Cyberpunk 2077 niblets to look at. And also, if you want to see Cyberpunk with ray tracing on, once again, go back and check out that NVIDIA Geforce. As always, I put all the links down in the description for anything that I refer to, and I hope you found that useful. Right, that wraps it up for me. Thank you for watching. Please give me a like if you enjoyed this. Please remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon, as I do release on a regular basis. And I also stream twice a week as well. All right, that's it for now. See you soon. Bye.